before the top of the hour. No tears from that guy because he is not the new American Idol, but he's certainly on his way to fame and glory as well as fortune.
Clay Aiken, the runner-up from American Idol, joins us live in our New York studio. Good morning to you, Clay.
Hey guys, how are you?
Doing okay. Clay, I cannot tell you how many people have emailed us over the last week saying, I tried so desperately to get in on the big night and my I wound up with a busy signal. Hundreds of thousands of people say that they were unable to vote either for you or Ruben.
Right.
And so that makes people wonder whether or not you would like a recount.
No recount. You know, a lot of people, I think one of the things is a lot of people said, I couldn't get in, I couldn't vote.
Right.
And the people one of the reasons that the numbers were higher for Ruben is because a lot of people I know, a lot of my friends said, well, I couldn't get through for the first half hour, so I just gave up. You know, and they stopped voting.
Some friends
so
they are.
Yeah, so they stopped voting for the half-hour wait till wait till 9:30 to start voting. Well, there's like 3 or 4 votes you can get in that 9:30 hour. Anyway, so.
Just out of curiosity, immediate family members, how many times did they vote for you?
Oh, I don't really know how many times they voted, but I know my mother stayed on the phone for 3 hours straight.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, how do you feel about
you
compete with Ruben? He comes out on top. When you came out, this is what fascinated me. You came out, as they were about to make the announcement, you stared at him. It looked like Holyfield Bo, 1993. You're staring at him, but he will return your glance. Why stare at him?
I don't know. It was just the mode of
intimidation of a man 200 pounds more than you. What are you thinking?
No, I don't think it's possible to intimidate Ruben. We both just got into this. All of a sudden, I couldn't move. I looked at him for a second, and I just decided I couldn't move.
Did you know he was going to win? Did you look at his card like Ryan Seacrest said?
Well, on Wednesday evenings, we always try to get clues as to, the executive producer looked at me a weird way. I know that I'm out. So we try to get clues on Wednesday night, right before we went out. Ryan was looking at his card, and I kind of glanced over, and I saw that there was a name on there that was this long instead of this long. So I had an idea. So you just kind of put 2 and 2 together. So I didn't have a guarantee, but I kind of pieced it together and thought maybe it was probably Ruben.
So then were you sleepwalking through that final show knowing that you probably weren't going to get the big nod?
Well, no, I didn't know. I didn't see the card until like the commercial right before we went out to make the announcement.
Does it astound you, like it did Simon, that with 2 of you left, Ryan Seacrest had to write the name down?
Well, he didn't write it down. I guess he could slip up. So maybe.
Yeah, and speaking of slip-ups, the disparity between the two, now we know, was 130,000 votes, although on one of his cards, Ryan Seacrest, it said 1,300, and then on the teleprompter it said 13,000. Now we know that there were a few more than that.
Well, in his defense, Ryan doesn't write the cards. Somebody else writes the cards.
No, he's great, and he's been on. We're not going to put him down. We're just having fun. Hey, have you thought about just giving it up and going back to a different type job now that you've came runner-up in American Idol? Why not leave the singing career behind?
Well, I haven't really thought about that. I mean, at this point, I was on a path to be a teacher, and at this point, I've forked off substantially.
The heck with that!
Yeah. So I'm gonna see where this road takes me for a while.
What a mind bender it must be. A couple of weeks ago, you were just one of those guys on that show, and there are a million reality shows. Of course, it's the biggest one. And now you are like in the top 2 singers in America. People must be stopping you, calling your family. Tell us how your life has changed.
Yeah, we get stopped quite a bit. Ruben and I went to dinner the other night and got a standing ovation at the restaurant.
You're kidding?
And it took us about 15 minutes to get started eating because we wanted to take pictures and autographs and all that stuff. So that there's quite a bit of change.
And then at that restaurant, do they send over bottles of stuff to drink and pick up your tab and all that stuff?
Oh, no, we're not quite that big yet.
Yeah, absolutely not. But just describe to me what you thought fame was going to be like and what you think it is now.
Well, I didn't know that it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be like. Getting stopped when we went to Rent, we went to see Frenchie Davis from the show in Rent on Broadway.
Right.
And we got a substantial response there when we got in. So it's a lot bigger than I thought, But this is, like you said, it's the biggest show on TV.
Well, speaking of Broadway, Simon Cowell said that you have a great voice for Broadway. Any inclination to do that?
Like I said, I had never really this whole show business thing was not necessarily something that I had seen myself doing so much. So definitely Broadway was not anything that I've considered. And it's not necessarily what I'm interested in doing right away. But we'll see what doors open as I go down this road.
Have you thought about, if you watch VH1, you know that every star gets millions of dollars and loses it all. When do you want to lose it all? Right away or 5 years from now?
Look, I'm going to wait a few years for my break.
You're going to wait a few years?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're going for the MC Hammer kind of model. Building $1 million house on a mountain in Vegas, and boom, next thing you know, you.
Yeah. When's your album come out?
We're shooting for early September, late August. They're our single, Ruben's single and my single, both come out on June 10th, and then they're shooting to have both the albums out end of August, beginning of
And are you
September.
going to sing on it?
I am going to sing on it. No Milli Vanilli stuff.
Well, we've got your CD, the American Idol CD, with
Yes.
all the people singing. It is terrific, and I love that the American song at the very end.
God bless you.
And if I could just bring one, Clay, feet off the furniture. I mean, it's really...
My mother's probably at home.
Goodness, what the heck is happening? 2 years ago, these were worth $20 at Ethan Allen.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, and now you're putting your feet on them.
And now what are they worth?
Not much at all.
Now we can auction off Clay's cushion.
Yeah, fantastic. And look at those grips, those super grips on those shoes. That's fantastic. You've never slipped in your life with those things, all right? Why not wear cleats, Clay?
Those are the ones Neil Armstrong wore on the moon, aren't they?
It's incredible.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Good traction. All right, those boots weren't made for walking. But you were doing some talking, and thank you very much for
You're
joining
quite
us
welcome.
today.
Thank
Clay
you guys
Aiken.
very much.
By the way, Ruben Studdard will be on our program tomorrow.
He will.
He doesn't like to hear that. He likes to think we just...
He and I'll be on with Linda Vesta this afternoon later on.
Oh, is that right? Linda gets both of them. So stay tuned for Dayside, 1 o'clock Eastern.
If you wouldn't mind afterwards, tell me what she's like. We've never met her.
Linda Vesta.